Welcome to Have More Babies. Today, we're focusing, really zeroing in on a huge milestone for parents and obviously for kids,
Yeah,
making that transition into big school.
it really is huge. And, sometimes I think it's almost a bigger deal emotionally for the parents than the kids. But strategy definitely helps.
Absolutely. And the stakes are pretty high, right? It's not just about getting through day one. We've got this really thorough guide from Omega Pediatrics.
Right.
And our mission today is basically to show that getting prepared isn't just nice to have, it's, well, essential. The source material clearly states that good preparation leads to, what was it, higher levels of school readiness.
Better social skills and good academic performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it lays it out pretty clearly. It's foundational stuff.
So that's what we're doing. We're going through this guide, pulling out the most practical, actionable steps, maybe even some surprising things you might not think about when getting ready for that first really structured environment outside the home.
And that's the key point, I think.
Yeah.
The guide stresses that preparation has to be more than just, like, knowing letters or counting. It's really about building up their resilience, their
Ah.
ability to adjust,
Hmm.
making sure your child can handle the new rules, the new faces, that big separation from you.
Okay. So let's break it down. The guide uses a helpful framework, splitting readiness into three main areas: emotional, social, academic, and practical. All equally important.
Yep.
Where should we start? Maybe the emotional side? Because that separation anxiety, that feels like the first big wall for everyone.
Yeah, definitely. And what's interesting is the approach they suggest isn't like ripping off a Band-Aid. It's very uh, intentional, gradual.
How so?
Well, they recommend introducing short separations gradually.
Hmm.
Think like a play date at a friend's house where you leave for a bit,
Yeah.
and constantly reassuring your child you will come back.
Okay. Building trust.
Exactly. It helps them build a positive feeling about new caregivers, new places,
Mm.
and feel secure even when you're not right there. That's critical.
Makes sense. Build that trust so they feel safe enough to explore. And speaking of exploring that new world, they need the skills to actually interact, right?
Right.
It's not just about being okay without mom or dad.
Right.
They need to connect with others, social skills.
Precisely. And the advice there is super practical. Use play dates, but maybe structured ones. Encourage games where they have to cooperate. Maybe join community programs or clubs.
Activities outside the home bubble.
Yeah. These are like little training grounds. They practice sharing, taking turns, navigating kid politics before they hit that big, sometimes intimidating classroom on day one. It builds confidence naturally.
Okay, so we tackle the emotional readiness,
Yeah.
social skills. What about the stuff most parents probably think of first? The academic side, learning letters, numbers.
Right, the academic prep. And the guide is smart here. It really emphasizes language and communication first.
Why first?
Because it's the gateway, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you can't communicate well, learning everything else is harder. Yeah. So yeah, read books, build vocabulary, but they stress making it active.
Active listening, storytelling.
Exactly. You're not just pouring words into them. You're teaching them to listen, to understand, and importantly, to express their own thoughts and needs. To the teacher, to other kids, it's fundamental.
Got it. And for the actual reading and numbers part, literacy and numeracy.
Again, specific, but not scary. Routine is key. Like setting up a daily reading time that fits their age, their interests. And for numbers, make it playful.
Not flashcards, then.
Preferably not. Not at first, anyway. More like counting objects when you're sorting laundry or identifying numbers on street signs. Weave it into everyday life.
Making math just part of the scenery.
Yeah, makes it accessible, less intimidating, builds a good foundation for later when, math gets more abstract.
Okay, that covers emotional and academic. What's the third pillar? Practical preparation. You said this one gets overlooked.
Often, yeah. But think about it. School is way more structured than home. The teacher can't tie 20 pairs of shoes or manage 20 different snack times. Practical skills are about functioning in that new system.
Ah, okay. So routines are big here.
Huge. The guide says parents need to start enforcing preschool routines at home well before school starts. Consistent wake-up times, meal times, bedtimes that kind of mirror the school day.
Why? What does that do?
It provides predictability and stability, as the guide puts it. It helps their internal clock adjust, making that shift to the school's rigid schedule less jarring.
But how do you do that without making it feel like boot camp? Adding more stress.
That's where independence comes in. This is maybe the core practical skill set the guide pushes. Teaching self-help skills.
Like getting dressed, washing hands.
Exactly. Dressing themselves, basic hygiene, maybe even simple age-appropriate chores. because doing these things builds self-reliance, confidence, and a sense of competence.
Okay, I see the connection. If a child feels like I can handle this myself.
They're less reliant on the teacher for every little thing. They feel more capable, more confident, and that confidence helps them cope better with everything else school throws at them.
So, nailing those foundations, emotional, academic, practical, is stage one. What's next? The guide actually gets into specific, like, hands-on strategies for smoothing out the transition itself, right?
Oh yeah, this is where it gets really concrete. They talk a lot about familiarization and rehearsal.
Strategy one seems straightforward. Visit the school.
Yep, simple but effective. Go see the classroom, maybe meet the teacher, walk the halls. It takes away the scary unknown factor. Makes it a familiar place, maybe even exciting.
Okay, but strategy two, I thought this was fascinating. Role-playing.
Yes, the power of role-playing. It's like cognitive rehearsal for toddlers. You literally set up a pretend classroom at home.
With toys as classmates?
Sure, you stuffed animals, dolls, whatever, and you act out the daily routine. Circle time, lining up, snack time, even asking to go potty.
Wow, so they practice the situations beforehand.
Exactly. It helps them internalize what's expected, how things work, before they're in the real situation with 20 other kids and all the pressure. It can seriously reduce anxiety and those first week meltdowns.
That makes a ton of sense. And the strategies for encouraging learning itself, they also seem very active, not passive.
Definitely. They emphasize parents shouldn't just read stories, but be a storyteller. Get animated, ask questions.
Open-ended questions.
Right, like, what do you think happens next? Or why did the character do that? It gets them thinking critically, engaging with the material, not just listening.
And for other learning, puzzles, blocks.
Yeah, providing age-appropriate stuff that encourages problem solving, puzzles, building toys, even good educational apps. The key is making learning fun, part of the everyday landscape.
And that extends to math too, right? Keep it playful.
Absolutely. Weave basic math into playtime, counting games, sorting toys by color or size. Keep it light, make it a game, not a lesson.
Okay. And then there are strategies 7 and 8, which circle back to the social side. Peer interaction.
Crucial. This is where they apply those social skills we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
The guide strongly suggests organizing regular playdates.
With kids they might go to school with, or just peers in general.
Both can be good. Neighbors, kids from daycare. The point is practicing sharing, taking turns, cooperating, negotiating. All that stuff outside the family dynamic where maybe they always get their way.
And the guide specifically mentions fostering empathy. That seems like a higher level skill for a toddler.
It is, but it's vital. Helping them recognize and respond to how others feel, that's what builds meaningful connections with teachers and peers. It moves beyond just parallel play to actual friendship and understanding, which makes for a much happier school experience.
Okay, this is all great stuff for preparing the child, but let's shift gears a bit. There's a whole section here on something parents might maybe underestimate. Parent-teacher associations, PTAs.
Right. A lot of people just think, oh, the PTA, they do fundraisers, right? Bake sales and wrapping paper.
Exactly. But this guide positions them as playing a much more fundamental role, especially in this transition process.
Absolutely. The guide defines them really well.
Yeah.
Collaborative groups, parents, teachers, school staff, even the wider community, all working together. Their goal is communication and advocating for quality education. They're a built-in support system.
So how do they specifically help with the transition for new toddlers and families?
Well, many PTAs organize specific orientation and transition programs. These are events just for incoming families.
What happens there?
They introduce key staff, maybe give a tour, explain the curriculum basics, go over important school policies. It's designed purely to ease those pre-start nerves for both the parents and the kids. Definitely worth looking out for.
That sounds incredibly helpful. What else?
They often run parent workshops on school readiness. These are gold mines. They'll cover practical topics like boosting independence, how to handle separation anxiety if it pops up again mid-year, tips for supporting reading at home.
Like targeted advice right when you need it.
Exactly. Preventative information. And the third big thing is volunteer opportunities. The PTA often organizes how parents can help out.
Like chaperoning field trips or helping in the classroom.
Yep. Which, yes, supports the school. But maybe more importantly for this conversation, it gives you, the parent, a direct window into your child's daily world. You see the classroom dynamics, the teacher's style, firsthand.
That insight must be invaluable. Okay, so the PTA is a key resource. This connects to the bigger picture, doesn't it? A successful transition seems to really depend on home and school working together.
Totally. A united front. Which raises the question, Okay, the orientation is over,
Yeah.
school has started. How do you, as a parent, keep that connection strong with the teacher day to day, week to week?
And the guide is crystal clear here. Communication. Proactive communication,
Okay.
meaning show up for those parent-teacher meetings and conferences, don't skip them. See them as your chance to build trust, share what you're seeing at home, and get on the same page about goals for your child.
And use the communication channels the school offers, right?
Yeah.
The guide mentions email, maybe online portals, even phone calls if needed.
Exactly. The point is regular contact, not just when there's a problem. Share successes too. It keeps the dialogue open and collaborative. Don't wait for a fire to talk to the teacher.
Makes sense. What's the other part of maintaining that partnership?
Active involvement. Which loops back to the PTA, actually. Participating in those meetings means you have a voice in school decisions. But it's also about contributing in other ways, helping with school projects, maybe donating supplies if you can, supporting fundraisers.
You become part of the fabric of the school community.
Right, you shift from just receiving information to being an active participant.
And that involvement, like volunteering, gives you that crucial firsthand insight. You understand the classroom better, which helps you support your child's learning at home more effectively. And, as the guide notes, it contributes to better, more memorable experiences for all the kids.
Okay, so wrapping this all up, what's the big takeaway for parents facing this big school moment? It sounds like successfully transitioning your toddler isn't just one thing you do.
Not at all. It's a whole process, right? It's planned, it's multifaceted. You've got the deep emotional prep, the academic groundwork, the practical
The
skills,
strategic rehearsals like role playing.
and knowing how to use support systems like the school's PTA and building that strong link with the teacher. It all works together.
It really is about empowering the child and empowering the parent too, seems like. It starts way before that first day.
It really does. And here's something to reflect on, maybe a final thought. When you focus on teaching your toddler independence, now those self-help skills, that problem solving, you're building something fundamental.
Confidence.
Exactly. A deep, enduring sense of competence and confidence. That feeling of, I can handle this. They'll carry that with them right through their school years. You're not just prepping for kindergarten. You're laying groundwork for their future success.
That's powerful, setting the stage, not just surviving day one. Well, that confidence building starts now. If you need more detailed resources or maybe some expert guidance tailored to your child, and you want to check out the guide we've been discussing.
Yeah, the source material we used came from a really rich resource center focused specifically on pediatric care and getting kids ready for these milestones.
So for more helpful tips, loads more resources, and specific details on pediatric care and school readiness, we absolutely encourage you to visit omegapediatrics.com today.
That's omegapediatrics.com. omegapediatrics.com.
And if you found this conversation useful today, please take just a second right now to like this video. Definitely subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future ones. And please share this information with any other parents you know who are gearing up for that big school transition.
We really appreciate you joining us for this look into school readiness.
We'll see you next time on Have More Babies.